April from April's Home, and today I'm excited to be sharing with you an indoor gardening project. This is a project that I've had on my to-do list for quite a while. So what I'm going to be doing today is repotting a bunch of my little succulent plants here. Some of them have outgrown their little tiny pots. Some of them are new, but I just want to put them in bigger pots here today. So I have a cactus here and some succulents, a bunch of different varieties of succulents and cactus. And back here in the back you can see I have my cactus mix of planting soil. And then I have a few new containers that I wanted to plant today. I have these two here that I've been wanting to plant with succulents for a really long time. I think that these are so cute. It looks like a little hedgehog or something like that. A cute little hedgehog and a cute little mouse here. I got these from, I think, West Elm. Yeah, I got these from West Elm a couple of years ago, and I just think that these are so adorable, and I just think that they will look really, really wonderful with some cute little succulents. I also want to plant this geometric planter with some succulents. I think this is really pretty and it will look really nice in my decor. And then I also thought that I would use this little tin here for one of my planting projects. I have had this Cafe du Monde chicory coffee can for quite some time. I got it at World Market years ago, and I just love this bright orange color. It gives a little pop of color in little corners in my house where I decide to put this. So I thought that I would go ahead and, instead of it just being a tin, that I would go ahead and make it a planter. It's getting a little bit aged over the years, so I think now it'll look a little bit better as a planter. And then I've got this galvanized little tub here that I got at the Target dollar spot, I think last year. And so what I've done with this is I've added gravel to the bottom. Because this is metal and it's not really like waterproof or anything necessarily, I want to keep the water, you know, coming down into here to a minimum, just so it doesn't rust out or ruin the container. So I think that I'm going to kind of plant the 4 different plants in these little clear cups that I've got. I've put little holes on the bottom of these so that they can drain some, but so that it will kind of keep things a little bit contained to the little areas of the cups. I don't know if that's the correct way to do it. Luckily, succulents are very forgiving, so if it doesn't seem like they're thriving, I can always switch up that method. And I also might want to change out the container later anyway. This is kind of a larger container for me, but I think it'll be a fun piece to have in my spring and summer decor. So I thought I would share with you this little project as well as how it turns out. I'm excited to see how this will turn out, and then I'll be using all of these pieces in my decorating for the spring and summer, which I'm just in the beginning process of kind of deciding where I want everything for the spring and summer. I always love to decorate for spring and summer with sort of a fresh, slightly minimalist, not too minimalist because of course I like eclectic things, and I have quite a few objects, but a little bit cleaner lines for the summer, lots of whites and golds and bright colors and earthy tones, and a bunch of plants and things like that to be brought in. So that's my favorite way of decorating for spring and summer, so I thought it was the perfect time to get all of my cute little succulents and cactuses planted in their new little planters. So I think the first one that I'll start out with is this one here. This one here I was having trouble deciding what I wanted to plant in it. I kind of put a bunch of the different succulents in to see what it might look like. That one kind of looks good, but I think I settled on this one here, this little pearl type succulent, because I think it'll look nice when these grow and kind of cascade down around this pot. I think that this pot in particular is the best one suited to actually showcasing this little plant here, which is one of my favorite succulents. I think that this is so neat, and it is just not doing well in this little tiny container. So it's definitely time to upgrade this little pot here for this little succulent so it can thrive and hopefully grow quite a bit more. I've seen these get really big and really cascade. I would love to pick up some more of these. I think they're so beautiful. If I spot these in an indoor gardening department, I'll definitely pick up some more. I think they're so cute. So what I'm going to do first is add a little bit of pebble to the bottom of this just for drainage. So there's a nice little layer down there of pebbles so that it can drain. Maybe I'll add a little bit more. Go ahead and add the rest of those there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put about half of this full of the cactus mix. This cactus mix of potting soil is good for cactus, succulents, and desert plants. So I think it'll be fine for all of my succulents. So I filled up my little cup here with soil. I love using these cups to transfer dirt into the smaller containers. It really makes the job a little cleaner and tidier. So we'll go ahead and put this one in and see how much that filled it. Okay, it's a little less than halfway, so I'm going to go ahead and get another scoop. So that's about halfway. Now I'm going to see how this fits in with the level of this little plant here. This is a little bit root bound. I'll probably just ever so slightly loosen up these roots here. And now I'm going to see how deep it is so far. It looks like it needs a little bit more depth there first. And then I can start kind of filling around the inside as well. Okay, I've actually ended up filling it mostly to the top. And I'm kind of pressing a little hole in here to kind of give it a little space, and now we'll see if this is a little bit better of a fit here. And I think it is, because I want it to come up a little bit high so that the plant has a chance to kind of cascade down the edges there and move around a little bit as it grows. I don't want it too deep within the pot here. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this out real quick and kind of loosen up some of these roots just super gently so that it can kind of feel free to grow throughout the new pot here. Okay. Kind of just tuck it down in there a bit, and then add some more soil to the edges here and just kind of tuck it down in. I'm not wearing gloves with this project just because these are, there are no prickles in here, and this soil is really not having a lot of bark dust or slivers or anything like that. I do have gloves, however, for when I plant my cactus there so that I don't get prickles. So I've got this all planted. I've pushed some dirt in around here, and at the end here I'll water all of these and we'll see if it needs a little bit more soil or not, but otherwise I think this plant is going to be a lot happier in here. I really love the way that this displays. I think it's going to be really neat when all these are kind of cascading down around the edges of this little planter here. So that's my first plant planted, and now I think I'll go ahead and work on these two little guys here. These two little containers are so shallow, I'm not going to add any rocks to it. The plants seem to do pretty well in their little tiny containers. This will give them a little bit more breathing room, but eventually, of course, as the plants grow, I'll have to switch them out anyway. So I think it's okay. This soil here is pretty, allows for drainage pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little soil to the bottom of each of these here. This one I'm not going to add too much to because the plant itself will have so much soil that I really want to make sure that it fits in this little container here. And I think for this one I'm going to use this plant here so it looks like a little hedgehog with spikies. I think that that'll look really cute. So I'm going to just carefully take this plant out of the container here and see what its roots look like. Okay, so it's got some pretty significant roots here. That's really an interesting design of plant, and I want to see how low I can get this so that it's not sticking up too high. So I'm going to kind of work on spreading out the roots lengthwise rather than upright and see if we can't get this plant low enough for this container. Otherwise, I may have to choose a different container for this. Okay, so I've got this one all in this little planter here. It actually worked out really easily. As I unearthed the roots of this, they were really easy to spread around. I made sure to tuck them down in there and give them lots of room to kind of roam around there. And I've added some more of the potting soil and kind of pressed it down firmly here to give the plant some support. And then I've got out some more of the little decorative rocks. This time I think I'm going to top this with decorative rocks so that this soil doesn't get knocked around while it's sitting out in my decor. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Here it is with all of the rocks added. I think that that looks really nice. I'm excited with how this one turned out, and I think that this is going to look really great in our decor this year. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one aside and start working on this little one here. I'm going to use the same plant here. I'm actually hoping to unearth this little one here to see if it is small enough to fit in here. This was one of those plants that you buy with 3 different kinds of succulents in one little pot. Of course, this pot is way too tiny for 3 different succulents to really thrive. This type of succulent grows really, really well and often takes over the pot really, really quickly. So I'm definitely going to try to unearth this one now and see if it'll fit in this little tiny cute mouse. So I'm hoping that by giving it its own little teeny tiny pot here, it can start to grow better. And of course, when this plant gets a little more mature, I'll take it out of here and put it in a bigger pot and add something else tiny to this one here. But I think that that's really cute. I'm going to go ahead and add some more soil and of course top it with the little rocks just like I did the little matching one over there. So this one is all done. I haven't put rocks too close to the plant here. I want it to be able to breathe a little bit. I may even move some of those back a little bit. But that is how this one turned out. I think it turned out really cute. I think that plant's going to be much happier there. So now I've got 3 done. And now I think I'm going to tackle the cactus here. This is the cactus that I picked up at Walmart the other day. It was so cute, but it had the little fake straw, little flowers kind of hot glue gunned onto the top. They looked kind of silly, so I just popped those off, and I love the way this cactus looks. I'm a little nervous about working with spiny cactuses. I haven't worked with these for years, but I just absolutely love cactuses and the way they look, so I knew I really wanted to have one in my home this summer. So since I'll be working with this sharp cactus, I've put some gloves on with a nice thick layer here so that I don't poke myself. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to plant it in this. I really do love this container here, so I may end up switching it out in the end if I don't love it. What I have done to protect the inside of this is I've lined the bottom with some rocks, and then I've put little tiny holes in the bottom of a little cup here just to kind of prevent it from having a ton of water kind of gathering in the bottom. Of course, with cactuses, you don't need to water them that much. So there's not that much threat of water ruining this little container here, but I just thought a little bit of prevention would be a nice idea. So now I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with soil and kind of start bringing the soil level up to where I would want this for the plant here. I'll probably have it be about this high in the pot here, not totally above the surface, about like that. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up now. So I filled this container a good way with dirt, and I've popped the little cactus out of its little pot here to kind of get the right level and also to decide where I want it to, you know, face according to the little tins art here. So probably something like that, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and fill around this with a little bit more dirt and see if I can get this planted to the correct level and then stabilized in here. So I have the cactus, how I like it. I think it looks really cute, and now I'm going to go ahead and top around it with some of the pebbles here so that the soil will stay put in here. So there it is, all topped off with some cute little pebbles here. I think that that looks really great. I'm excited to put this out in my decor. So that's my cactus all planted, and next I'm going to work on the larger little galvanized tub there. Okay, so I have my galvanized tub all prepped and ready to go. There are pebbles in the bottom, and I've put 4 little cups with holes cut in the bottom so I can kind of keep a separate little area for each of the little plants. I thought I'd also point out this is one of the succulents that dropped off of a plant. Actually, I think it was this little one here. And when they drop their plants, if they're in a little dry area for a while, you can see that from the dry dead leaf here, a new plant will sprout. So you can see the little root system there. I'll definitely be planting this in here in its own little corner so that it can kind of take root and get going here. You can see how cute that is and how easy it is to propagate succulents. You just pluck off their leaves and kind of let them dry and then leave them sitting on some little planting soil, and they will form their own little roots and create a little baby plant, which I think is so cute. So that's that one, and we'll see if we can't get that growing a little bit more. And now I'm going to kind of work with some of these plants here. This one's looking pretty sickly. I might have to pluck off some dead bits from it here and kind of clean this up a little bit and see which plants that I like where, you know, see what looks good where, stuff like that, and kind of play around with this a bit. And I'll go ahead and fill this up with soil and try to get some of these placed, and then I'll come back and show you how this is coming along. Okay, so I think I have this container here pretty much how I like it. You can see still the little containers here, and I'm about to go ahead and fill in the rest of this with dirt and top it off with dirt and pebbles. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. You can see I've cleaned up these quite a bit, kind of loosened up some of the roots a little bit, taken out some of the dead, any of the dead growth in some of these back here that were a little bit more mature. So now I'm going to go ahead and fill this up the rest of the way with dirt and top it off with pebbles, and we'll take a look at what this looks like. So this is what this galvanized tub looks like all planted. You can see all the little succulents in here with the pretty stones on top. I also think that to fill up some of this open space here, I'm going to add some natural rocks and wood pieces. And I also thought that I would add this little thing here. I got this little item here from a seller on Etsy. I think it's so cute. It's like a little piece of Fimo decorated like a little fairy rock with a bunch of little crystals and little stones and things like that. I just thought that that would be really fun in a flower pot. I don't remember the name of the seller now, but if I can locate that, I will go ahead and leave that in the links below. So I'm going to go ahead and set this in the pot here. I just think it makes a nice little touch there. I also thought that I would add a little geode perhaps, just tuck it in there so it gives it a little interesting things here. I have some of this driftwood here. I think I'll go ahead and stick that right in the center. And another piece of driftwood maybe over here. And then I also have some smoky quartz that I thought that I would tuck in perhaps back here, or maybe I'll switch this out here, put that there, and then put this right here. Something like that. I may move that around a little bit. But I love adding interesting little rocks and wood pieces. Here's a little piece of rose quartz. I'll go ahead and add this too. I just think it makes it pretty to kind of have little things in there to look at when people are kind of looking at your plants. They see a little extra something special, which I think is really neat to kind of mix that plant and wood and rock together. It's one of my favorite ways to decorate. So that is my planting project today. I got a lot done. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my space here, and then I'll come back and show you what everything looks like, freshly watered and all ready to put out in my decor. Okay, so I have my plants all out here that I've planted up, and I've put away all my planting supplies and things. I am so happy with the way these turned out. I think that they are so pretty. It is better than I thought it would look, and I'm excited to be using all 5 of these pieces throughout my decor for spring and summer. I have saved a few of the little leaves that I have popped off some of the plants when I was kind of cleaning them up a little bit to go ahead and try to propagate as well. So I'm excited to do that as a project also. So I thought that I would give you a quick close-up look at each of these little plants here. So here are these little succulents planted in these cute little West Elm planters here. This cute little like hedgehog and mouse. And then my really pretty galvanized tub planter. I just love the way this turned out. I love the addition of the driftwood and the rock. I just think that that is a really pretty piece. I love my cactus in this bright orange pot here. I just think that that is so neat. I love the color combination. It is just like a little mini desert there, which I just love. And then this pretty succulent here with a little pearl succulents kind of cascading down this, and I'm definitely looking forward to this growing more and seeing if I can't get it to cascade all around this piece here. So I'm definitely happy with my little planting project here, and I'm excited to get decorating for the spring and summer. It also looks like our rain has finally stopped, so I can get back out in the garden and do some outdoor planting as well. So be sure and stay tuned for my week 2 garden vlog coming up here in a couple of days. We've had almost another full week of rain, so I haven't been able to do anything out in the yard, but I'm excited to get out there today and tomorrow and this coming up weekend and get a bunch done hopefully. So I will have that garden vlog up for you as well here in the next couple of days. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look at my fun indoor planting project with my succulents and cactus plants. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more videos from April's Home. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.